Virtual worlds allow people to experience rock art without compromising the security and integrity of fragile ancient places. The wall I am standing in front of now attempts to communicate that rock art isn't always obvious, that you may have to really look to discover it. Visitors to the rock art grotto can test their assumptions by touching various places on the wall. From each touch, a sign will tell whether the wall contains a carved petroglyph or merely a flaw in the rock. Try it. The upper gallery focuses on the meaning of ancient art. Many cultures did not perceive the images they created as art. Instead, it was the act of painting or carving, in ceremony, that was important. Often, too, the disappearance of the image through weathering or overpainting was culturally significant. This can create a tension between remaining cultures and attempts to preserve the ancient images, as among the Aboriginal peoples of Australia, who continue to paint, and those who research the images scientifically. Some of the most significant aspects of rock art are very difficult to convey. That it is not always representational, that it was often not intended to be easily seen, that the very act of viewing was sometimes believed to entail profound consequences, that the act of creation was more culturally significant than the resulting image, that impermanence can be valued, that essentially human elements of the art may transcend culture, geography, and historic period, that our modern-day technological, cultural, spiritual, and environmental experience differs so dramatically that meanings are often obscured, and so on. Ancient images stimulate people today to think about art, culture, ceremony, history, and prehistory in profoundly different ways than are commonly taught in a classroom or learned from books or television. Many visitors experience an aha moment when the difference between a painting that hangs on a museum wall and a pictograph painted high on a hidden ledge of a remote canyon suddenly becomes vividly clear. Throughout the museum, touching the spinning globe activates panels which provide a wealth of additional information. For example, click on the small golden globe below the image of the bull, and you can learn about its location in Uzbekistan, its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, visit online research related to the image, find out how people are working to conserve the site, tour online galleries of related art, discover the potential for tourism, and know more about the culture that created the art. As you see above the cavern entrance, the museum provides visitors with some basic terminology. Pictographs are painted images, petroglyphs are carvings, and prints, like the handprints below, are also common motifs in rock art. We hope to help visitors experience the desire within each of us to leave behind our mark on the world, but also to understand how important it is to preserve the images that remain from ancient cultures. Graffiti, vandalism, development, and even tourism threaten rock art sites on every continent. Museums help to teach the value of such images to all of us and to light creative sparks in our own hearts and minds. If more people can begin to understand the value of rock art, artists may more appropriately incorporate traditional imagery in their contemporary work. Educators may more effectively elaborate ancient realms to students of prehistoric life. Advocates may bring graffiti artists and taggers to understand the similarities between ancient art and their own, and thus to protect historic works and value the artists that created them. Site managers may learn from one another, using prototype sites to test public visitation strategies. Scientists can model and prototype weathering, erosion, and patination processes. Damaged sites can be recreated and studied virtually using historical documentation. Anyone with access to a computer may visit virtual sites that are not physically cost accessible and may do so without endangering the original site. As the advantages of virtual worlds make the realm of rock art more accessible, such cross-disciplinary interest will increase creative collaboration, benefiting the rock art itself through conservation, benefiting the research community by providing them with new and effective tools, and of course, benefiting the visitors who learn about rock art and the cultures that created it. Thanks for touring with us today. We hope that you will visit us again at the Rock Art Museum Prototype in the virtual world of Second Life.
After having this tour, we've learned a lot about rock art and the Rock Art Museum Prototype, and I want to encourage you to support this program with more art you can bring to us, and our teams will be supportive to include and implement it in this prototype museum. The approach we're taking here really shows us how modern technology can help to bring things together even without travel necessary, and I think here is still great opportunities and new ways of creating better museums and having better tools for us as museum professionals to take the museum to the next level. I wish you all the best by thinking about methodologies to do that. Thank you very much.